Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to be reviewing the Canyon Tempr CFR road cycling shoes. Most bike companies not only sell fully built bikes and frame sets, but they also have dipped into the apparel market and offer everything from shoes to helmets. Canyon is one of the latest brands to follow this trend, and they've just released their new Tempr road cycling and mountain biking shoes. In this review, we'll be looking at the road cycling variation, which are a pro-level shoe that are designed for performance and comfort. Packaging is very simple. You have a BOA branded box, nice basic graphics on there, and not much else. We'll go ahead and open this up and go over the specs. Retail price on this is $329.95, which, believe it or not, is actually pretty affordable for a top-level shoe. These have a carbon fiber sole, so very stiff and high performance. And they feature some really cool design elements like the PerformFit wrap, which is this wraparound design that's designed to really hug your shoes, your feet, as you tighten up the dials. It has a BOA Li2 fit system, and it even features the aluminum Type D dial, which you can see has a metal dial, which gives it a really premium and cool appearance. They have an adaptive stretch tongue, which is this almost sock-like material in place of a separate tongue. And you have the Solstar insoles, which provide a lot more comfort than your basic foam insoles you'll find with a lot of other brands. In terms of what comes with these, you can see you get the shoes, some basic packing material on the inside to hold their form, some protective coverings along the heel cup and the sole, and then inside here you actually get a nice bag to transport the shoes. Those are great for storing or transporting them, and that's about it. Now let's take a look at the weight of the shoes. So if we take the right shoe and put that on the scale, comes in at 274 grams. These are the Euro 44 size as well. And then the left shoe comes in at 273. Visually, the Canyon Tempr shoes use a wraparound construction that's designed for optimal performance and comfort. These shoes are almost a blend between knitted shoes and traditional shoes, as Canyon has used this stretchy knit center to connect the two sides of the upper material. And you also have that nice wraparound upper material that goes around the carbon sole that's reminiscent of the Shimano S-PHYRE shoes. These are still quite new, so Canyon only offers them in the white version on their website currently, but there should be a black one there in the near future. The tongue on this one definitely feels knit. You can see highly elastic, and with this white color, you get this nice light gray accent along the tongue. The nice aluminum BOA dials, which again look really cool because they're shiny, and then the black accent on the base and the heel pad. It's pretty attractive appearance with very subtle branding. You just have CFR on the heel cup, which is almost hard to see. The Canyon logo on the heel, and then CFR RS01, as well as some additional information printed on the insides of the shoe. So when you're actually wearing the shoes, it's not much visible from the exterior except the Canyon logo. One of the coolest things about this shoe is the fit system. So they've used a BOA Fit system, which uses this PerformWrap design. So you can see you have two Li2 dials, and again, these are Type D dial, which is the metal version, which you only see on higher end shoes. So it's kind of cool to see it at this $330 price point. So very sleek. You have micro tightening and then micro loosening, and then you pull up and you have a full release. And you can see they're pretty generous with this too. So when you actually loosen it up, it opens up nice and wide, so it's pretty easy to put them on and take them off. The other interesting thing is each dial is only attached to one side of the shoe. So you have the simple two-row design. The upper portion controls the ankle and the bottom controls the toe box. And because you have this wraparound construction, so you can see this really wraps around, it has a wide guide here where the lace wraps through. So as you're tightening, you can really see it pull together. And that's why they don't have a two-row design. So kind of cool. And the way they've constructed it, again, really just wraps around your feet for optimal fit. You can see also when I fully loosen them, again, opens up nice and wide. So unlike some other shoes that use this wraparound design, they've actually made this very generous, so really easy to take on and put off. And here you can see that perforated tongue. So really elastic material, which almost feels like sock-like or like a knit shoe. And then whole upper is very flexible, just some basic structure around the toe, and then the heel cup, which is a lot stiffer to keep your feet securely planted in place. As far as the sole on these, it's fully carbon fiber. They don't actually list a stiffness index or anything, as it's their only pair of shoes. You only have a small exposed version of that carbon fiber plate, but you do have a full length carbon fiber underneath this. So along the exposed area, here you can see it's designed for a 3-bolt setup. You do have fore and aft adjustment, which is cool to see. Typically a lot of shoes will just have no adjustment, so with this you can optimize the cleat placement. And then you do have indicators that help you adjust the cleat position. There is no memory eyelet, so no center hole here, but you can use these lines here to line them up, and then when you swap them out, make sure they intersect the same points. You have a little air inlet on the front, and you can even have this rubber protective piece around here. So when you're walking, you won't damage the sole. And because this is white here, this part should stay protected. You actually have a replaceable heel pad here. So if you were to pull up on the insole, you can see on the inside, you do have a bolt. So a little screw head, you can remove that and then replace this if needed. You can see the sole here is really reminiscent of the S-PHYRE, so it wraps around and then conceals it, and you have the heel cup, which is this nice harder white material. The insoles on here are also really nice. They've actually worked with Solstar, which is a German-based company that do a lot of insoles. So instead of your standard EVA foam, you can see it's a multi-density design with different materials along the center and then the front. They're called custom, but that only means they're really customized for these shoes, so they're a perfect fit. You have the matching vent here for that front inlet. It's really nice flexible material. And then you can see a metatarsal pad right in the middle, which has a softer material, which is really soft and provides additional support when you're riding. There's also quite a bit of arch support, which is nice to see here. So you can see how it arches up. So if you do have larger arches, this actually should be a pretty good match right out of the box. Now let's take a look at these shoes on the road. As you can see here with the all white finish, they have a nice European look, and the metal dials really make them pop. So a really cool feature to see at this price point. You have micro tining and loosening, so you can do any adjustment on the road. And even with the standard width versions here, our wide feet felt very comfortable. The upper material is flexible, so it feels very similar to a knit shoe. So as you do longer rides, you have plenty of room to expand. And the insoles on here are really nice. It takes a ride or two to get comfortable with them, because that metatarsal pad is quite large. But after a ride or two, we felt like they were really comfortable and they kind of got broken in. After that, we didn't have any pressure points or any issues, so really comfortable even on short or long rides. You don't get any pressure points or issues. This is a high-end shoe though, so you get that nice high-end performance. That means you don't lose any watts when you're sprinting. No flexing, and your heel stays in place. So overall, really nicely designed. And with that wraparound design, your feet really feel secure. With these white shoes though, you do have to watch out. You can see they're already dirty here. And we did run into a little issue when we're installing them. The cleat bolts don't really have a backing piece, so you might have to hold them down from the inside just to get the cleats on the first time. But after that, we had no issues with the cleats or the shoes. And it's pretty impressive what they've done for their first shoe on the market. Now let's compare the Canyon Tempr with other shoes on the market. Here we actually have the Shimano S-PHYRE 903, so the latest version. Very similar in design. They both have a pretty pronounced heel cup. They have this wraparound design with dual BOA Li2 dials. The difference with the Shimano is that you can see it has a top wraparound design, and then the bottom is more compact with this triple lace pattern, while this one just goes around and is a little bit lower. You can also see with the Shimano, when you open it up, it's not quite as generous, so you can see how much further this piece kind of wraps around with. It makes it harder to put on and take off compared to this tongue design on the Canyon and the sock-like center. So it's definitely a unique feature. This should offer similar benefits without the drawbacks. On the sole, you can see very similar as well. A small section of the sole exposed, and then this wraparound design that conceals the rest. The Shimano also looks really cool with their iridescent color, so you can also get this in standard white and black, but they all have this little bit iridescent property on the rear, which makes them stand out. These are quite a bit more expensive at almost $450. We also have the knit DMT KR0 shoes. And this is where this tongue material looks so familiar. If you ever had a knit shoe like this, you can see highly flexible and almost seems like a single piece. And that's similar to the Canyon shoes. With this, you have a more standard lacing pattern instead of this wraparound design. So when you pull the dials closed, they will pull in, but you don't have that kind of origami wraparound construction. Instead, you can see it just pulls the material together around your feet. These are, again, a little bit harder to put on. So that's the nice thing about the design of the Canyon. So when you open this up, it opens up wide. Well, this one you really have to pull on to get your feet inside it. We're also big fans of Bont. So this is the Vaypor S. This also has that wraparound design, but a little bit different with the lacing. Again, 2 rows with this big wraparound piece rather than 2 separate wraparound pieces. Bont has more of a kind of bathroom tub design, so you can see how the carbon fiber sole goes right into that heel cup. And it's a lot more anatomical. This is a Euro 44 wide. So you can see along the center section, it's just a lot bulkier, which is quite a bit more comfortable on the road, but doesn't look as great. We also have the new Trek shoes. So these are the RSL road shoes. And you can see standard dual BOA dials, but they're not the metal version, which looks really cool. Both have heel cups, and with this one you have a more standard carbon fiber sole that's fully exposed all the way through. And then a more standard tongue design. So instead of the wraparound design, you have the separate tongue, which makes it really easy to put on and take off, but doesn't have that really wrapping design of this kind of elastic tongue that we see with the Canyon. So the Canyon has definitely hit some really cool features, and it's quite a bit more affordable than all of these, being only $330. Now let's go over the pros and cons of the Canyon Tempr CFR shoes. What we like about them is they're stiff and comfortable. You have a nice carbon fiber sole so you don't lose any watts. But you have a flexible upper material so you don't have any pressure points. You also have a nice dual BOA Li2 dials with the aluminum dials. So it's something you don't typically see at this price point and really makes them pop. You also have supportive SoleStar insoles, which have a surprising amount of arch support built in. The main negatives with these shoes is the fact you do have limited color options. It's only available in white, but we do expect them to include black and hopefully more colors in the future. And also with the knitted tongue, while it looks cool, it does make it a little bit more difficult to put the shoes on and off as you have to pull them away. Taking everything into account, we'd give these shoes a 9.5 out of 10. They're premium shoes at a competitive price point and pretty impressive for Canyon's first road cycling shoes. Thanks for watching this review. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can see more content from us on our website at thesweetcyclist.com, as well as follow us on Instagram at The Sweet Cyclist. This is The Sweet Cyclist reminding you to enjoy the ride.